everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you are on the another part of the globe. Thank you for joining. My name is Hubert, and I have a pleasure to talk to you regarding today about AI agents, AI assistants that you can build your own in 3 weeks. This presentation is a series of webinars that we are talking about AI in our life and how the technology can help us in our daily work. Yep, because all is about uh, all is about making our life easier and boosting our productivity. So once again, my name is Hubert. I'm working in Millennium as AWS solution architect, and for the last few years, I'm expanding technology solutions in AWS cloud. So I have a pleasure today to present you the knowledge how to we will go through some points. We talk about challenges. We will talk about why AI assistant you need today. What are two approaches in AWS? We have the Q-Business and Bedrock agents. I will present you the 3-week implementation plan, just my proposition. We will talk about decision matrix, and I'll show you some demo how to build your own AI assistant. Just right now, go to AWS console, clicking within a few things and setting up your own AI assistant. So, yeah, let's start then. The automation gap. The problem is that, of course, the webinar is recorded, and afterwards you will get the recording on your mail. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them on the Q&A section. So, very welcome to any question you have. I will try to answer afterwards. Or if you have no time, I will send the answer for the questions after the webinar ends. Automation gap, the problem, 60% of tasks fall into automation gap. What does it mean? That means that we as humans can make highly complex tasks. It's about 5% of our work that cannot be automated. So I don't mean the production lines, the things that robotics. However, the drivers are automatic drivers are already there somewhere on the world. However, not in many countries, but much work, some work must be done by humans. There are very simple tasks that can be done by RPA, just a robotic procedure automation, or via scripts or some simple automations that are already there. It's about 35%. And there is automation gap that is too simple for humans and too complex for RPA. And what do we do with that? Previously, in the previous years, we hired a lot of people to make that low intentional work, and just for example, preparing Excel spreadsheets or preparing data or some documentation and so on. And that's a 60% of automation gap that could be done by automation. However, it's too complex for it. And just this area is perfect for AI agents. For example, in the previous webinar, I was talking about McKinsey report that every day the employee wasting time about 2.5 hours for searching documentation. For example, we can there's a possibility to automate ticket deflection with 40 or 60% possibility. We can onboard people faster. For example, now it's when you hire the guy to your company, it's about 6 or up to 8 months until the person will be fully operational. Or we have multi-steps workflows, even 3 to 5 days per process. And these things could be automated. However, up to last year, up to 2023, we didn't have a solution for that. And once the AI area just boosted, we have now the opportunity to automate all these things, and AI agents is an answer for that. what is the impact of AI agents? Why we are talking about that? Because 2033 was the year that it was some kind of unknown. We didn't know where the way is and what is the direction. However, now we have 2 years of proof that we see the key productivities and the metrics that we can notice even 50% faster task completion. Developers feel feel more comfortable with their productivity. The business is writing documents faster, and there is quite a lot reduction in knowledge working time. So yeah, and more issues are resolved, and productivity for least experience is increased. So last year we could talk about AI that is a hype, that is a new something that will not have any future, or that technology that will have just appeared and will disappear. However, now we see that it's not a hype; it's a documented productivity change that is happening now. So that's why this is one of the reasons that we should be in the interest of agentic AI. Why now? Why just this year? and did we have opportunity or a possibility to do it previously in the last years? It was like that AI and model learning, machine learning is not just a new term. It's been developing for some time, and since 2017 it was about transformer architecture. That was just a break moment in the technology, that processing was faster. Then we discovered or we published the large language models, for example Claude, zero-shot learning. Then we discovered RAG pipelines. What is RAG? Retrieval augmented generation, that can large language models, foundation models, can take knowledge from external and present us in a summary. Then we had a function calling, just from Q&A to automation. We know the experience of OpenAI, ChatGPT, and others, that we can just conversate with the model. However, now it's a time for function calling and vector databases that improving our AI capabilities. And we can have semantic search, and we can have production-ready technology. It's not now the experiment, is the real cases that are used all over the world. What's the evolution of the solutions? So in the 2010, 2014, we had some solutions based on SharePoint or other knowledge bases that were static, and the adoption was very low, because just to be honest, who was the guy that was reading all of the things in the internal knowledge base of the company or in the intranet? I can confess myself that I was even not even realized that a lot of knowledge was there in the static knowledge base. Then we started to improve that with the search engines, with the indexing databases. However, there was only just keywords searching, and adoption was higher. However, it wasn't on the level that was satisfying for us. Then in the 2018, 2022, we started to observe that some chatbots era was invented, and chatbots were invented, and adoption was quite high. However, still the chatbots were only intentional. If you didn't ask some question, you didn't get any answer. And last year was the era of AI agents and LLMs with RAGs. However, the problem was that, and we see still that hallucination is a big challenge here. However, the accuracy of the answer is very, very high. So we have even 90% of accuracy for our answers. We are satisfied with the answers. However, we can sometimes observe hallucinations and just lying that the LLM are lying us. And now we are at the age of 2025 until I don't know how the technology will drive us in the future, but the key difference, the previous solutions didn't understand the intent. AI agents do that, and we can take the benefits of that. Of course, the hallucinations can be mitigated. Let's talk about that later. What is an enterprise AI assistant, and why do you need it? This is the system that understands the natural language with, for example, GPT and other transformers can be multi-language. Now there is no barrier and there is no borders for us for communication. Previously, there was a lot of pressure to learn other languages to communicate with other peoples. However, now we can just talk through AI assistant and communicate with people all over the world, even with some exotic languages for us from any other countries that we don't know. Of course, search is knowledge base. It has a searcher, intelligent searcher, the continuously using RAG pipelines with very, very low latency and response in context. Previously, the chatbots didn't use the context. It was a very small context of the conversation for resolving the problem, or just the regulated scenario that was prepared by operator. And now AI assistants can use the context even from the very, very long time ago. Even if you are conversating with AI chat assistant, you can notice that the memory is very long for that, and it can remember your habits and behaviors. Maintains security. It can be identity aware. It can integrate with SSO. Audit logs are possible for that. Learns. User feedback loops. The AI assistant can learn from our feedback. We can prepare A/B testing for better user experience, and we have execute some actions. It was completely just a mind-breaking that AI assistant started to be really the assistant, not just a conversation bot. That AI, when you type some action for AI bot assistant, it can execute for you some. You can call some function, or with an API integrations, it can be just your assistant to make something, or for example, booking hotels, booking tickets for flights, and so on. In AWS, we have two approaches for agentic AI. We have Amazon Q Business and Amazon Bedrock agents. What is the difference between them? First of all, it's just Q Business is a managed service. It's completely managed, that you can click. I call this presentation make your assistant within 3 weeks. However, I think that most of us could create Q Business within 3 hours, not 3 weeks. Maybe not the production usage. However, Q Business is as simple service as we can set it up within few clicks. So it's completely managed service, and when you set it up, it's ready to work. Deployment time, of course, for production usage, 1-2 weeks, because of the things that are under the hood. I will talk about that later. Requires skills, admin or DevOps. I wouldn't say it's just a necessary. Even without any experience, you can set up the Q Business agent for you. However, tuning and improvements require some knowledge, for example, preparing RAG and so on. Control is quite limited, because Q Business as a managed service, you cannot do much with the code, with what is under the hood and what is the customization of that. However, there are a lot of integrations. You have 40 plus integrations with Q Business, so you can extend your agent, your assistant with some ready plugins. It's of course about the cost, because the cloud is there is a pay as you go. So you use it, you pay. You don't use it, you don't pay. And within the cost is a difference that Amazon Q Business costs more. Since it's a managed service, it's easier to set up. You pay more, however, you have all the things that you need. And Bedrock agents, you build your own, of course, within the functions that AWS is providing you. Deployment time may be longer because of preparation, knowledge base, and tuning, and so on. Here you should have some skills with programming or just machine learning. However, it's not necessary still, because Bedrock is providing some easier functions for creating agents. The controller is completely complete and full. You can customize the Bedrock agents as you wish. However, you pay that with all TB integrations out of the box. That is only a few integrations, but it's a cost of full customization. And cost within just 500 or 1,000 users is less. So when you have few users, I think you should go with Amazon Q Business. But if your users base is growing, I think that Bedrock agents are in the longer time maybe more accurate for you. And the maintenance, of course, AWS managing the Q Business, everything that, for example, there is some problematic blast radius in AWS regions. You can just the failover is done by AWS. However, if you are deploying Bedrock agents, you must ensure that your agents are working with a high availability. So Amazon Q Business overview, the key features: zero code, completely zero code, no code. You can configure it via the console API or API. 40 plus integrations, I said already. Identity aware, built-in guardrails and admin controls. That's very important, that you can limit your limit answers to your users within the guardrails that you set up. For example, for hate, for some other behaviors that are unacceptable in the internet. Conversational memory. So you can set up the memory for Amazon Q Business Agent, and it remembers your habits, your behaviors, what you talk with it even a few days ago. And plugin for custom actions. It's not like that we are not able to customize Amazon Q Business. It provides also custom actions. So with your custom actions, is just a backdoor, I would say, for customization via the AWS Lambda, that is a function as a service within the custom code. You can integrate Amazon Q Business with everything that you want outside. So it's ideal for quick ROI, no ML team, and less than 1,000 users. Amazon Q Business limitations. Honestly, there are no full control over prompts. You have a limited UI customization because UI is provided by AWS. Of course, it's just a fast to set up. However, you cannot customize this UI. Higher cost at scale, so you are paying per users that are using your system. It's a black box. You have less transparency on that, and you may feel like a vendor lock-in. Sometimes I see that argument. However, I'm not agreeing with that. But you can have a lot of features included, like identity aware, what I said already, admin control, citation enforcement, multi-language support, even if you didn't specify the language. Audit logs. CloudTrail is a audit service that can log and report everything that is that you or others doing in AWS cloud. So you are somehow secured with the actions that you are preparing or others, and you can see what was done. And web search, just an optional, of course. I think that Amazon Q Business can be sufficient for 80% of use cases. But of course, we have more complex use cases that Amazon Bedrock agents can resolve. So Amazon Bedrock agents is a framework for building AI agents. Previously, you should use some Python machine learning AI knowledge for preparing your own agent, programming, preparing containerization for hosting, installing all of them, infrastructure. But now with Amazon Bedrock agents, you can start your agents right now. It's a full control of your custom system instructions. Amazon Bedrock agents are using action groups. So you're telling to Amazon Bedrock what should it do. You can set up knowledge base with rack configuration. You can set up memory with session or long-term memory. And of course, you can have guardrails as in Amazon Q business. You can set up guardrails so that you prevent your users for doing some behaviors that are not acceptable on your area or in the internet. It's ideal for dev teams or custom workflows, or if your base of users is growing all the time and you have specific compliance requirements. So what are action groups? Just a function calling that you can set open API schema. For example, your agent is just an assistant that you type, hey, create a ticket with priority, blah, 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 and so on. And you specify the schema for that. And agent is reasoning that recognizes the intent, selects the action, extracts it, invokes Lambda, for example, ServiceNow API, and it creates a ticket. And it reports, hey, I created a ticket for you. It will address blah, 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 and so on. So you have a measure impact of time saving. Instead of that, you then could just go into ServiceNow, log in, choose the area, and create a ticket, put all the configuration, or put all the details there, and it takes time. And of course, if you have a few tickets a day, it's not a problem. But if you have thousands of tickets to be created, it's just starting a challenge, especially for one person. So it's this is the agent reasoning and the whole structure, the whole way how AWS Bedrock agents are working. So now, first of all, we are preparing knowledge base within some vector database. Then we are creating an agent, preparing a prompt, invoking a model of Amazon Bedrock Foundation models, because in Amazon Bedrock we can choose within a lot of foundation models that are ready to use. Claude, Llama, Titan, Nova, others, even Quen, even others are possible to choose. And then you can create action groups and your experience for agentic AI. Yeah, so what is the pipeline RAG in 3 steps? First of all, we are ingesting data. So for preparing the knowledge base for retrieval augmented generation, we need to ingest the data, then create some query semantic search for the retrieval, and then we are integrating LLMs with the context and querying for answer with citations. It prevents us from hallucinations, and just a quite nice mitigation for that. And what are the key decisions? It's just chunking strategy, embedding model. We are using vector databases like OpenSearch, serverless or hosted, it doesn't matter. And search type is a hybrid, so best results for our searching results. And performance is increasing very, very nicely. So hallucination reduction can be at the even 80% level, but of course it's not the ideal. Still, we are experiencing the problems of hallucinations, However, it's our role. The 20% is just for human verification, and even AWS agent Bedrock can introduce just a human verification. So, what is the memory gathering steps? So we are creating a memory. It's a session or it's a long term with the DynamoDB. It's a NoSQL database, and we can prepare guidelines, for example, for blocking some topics that are not allowed. For example, we can ask our agents, hey, how you are built? What is your source code? And this is the blocking topic that AI agent will not answer. We can create filters for hate, violence, toxicity, and so on, PII redaction and sensitive information redaction, that emails, phones, and other sensitive information are blocked or anonymized. And for contextual grounding, that, for example, prove that your answer is real. Then we require citations for reducing hallucinations. And regarding for memory, is just preparing agent that contains nothing is very quick. However, with preparing memory guardrails and so on, it may we may pay some for that. For example, for 10,000 requests per day for memory, it's about $400 per month. Just of course, there's an estimation. It can be calculated via AWS calculator. And what is the DD comparison? So time to MVP, I said, even in few hours. However, for production, I recommend to have it 1 to 2 weeks. Bedrock agents require more preparation, so it can be even 3-4 weeks. However, the setup cost for Q business is quite low on the beginning. Bedrock agents are for the beginning may cost more. However, in the long term, there is a very nice ROI for us. We can customize more Bedrock agents and lower on Amazon Q Business. However, we have more integrations, and the Bedrock agents are custom built, so we can have everything we wish for full transparency, and we maintain what we would like to do instead of maintenance by AWS and very low observability, because audit logs for Q Business, we cannot see logs from there. We can just only see the result, and the Q Business as a managed service is hidden behind AWS infrastructure, and we cannot see the details of implementation there. So what is the 3-week plan for Q Business? I recommend personally the first week spent on create just application and set up billing alarms. It's very important that, of course, the people are saying, oh, cloud is expensive. No, it's not expensive. It's just cheap if you know what you do and if you create alarms and limitations for your budget. And for your safety, I think the billing alarms and budget limitations is crucial for not to have over and over with the budgets and paid subscriptions. So the next days we are preparing data sources, for example, SharePoint, S3 buckets, Confluence. Why it may take time? Because we need to AWS Q Business can connect to even open sources. However, also on the blocked resources like intranet, internal websites, some systems inside. So we need to prepare just read-only users that can be integrated with Amazon Q Business, for example, SharePoint pages. And we, in the first week, we are deploying SSO configuration so that our users can connect to the solution, and we can have very nicely done users maintenance and management, because it's a problem, always is a challenge of user management if the users should have access to, and how deep. We can easily create that by and delimit that by IAM users, IAM policies and roles. So in the week 2, we are working on indexing and quality testing, preparing guardrails, maybe other plugins if needed. And week 3, we roll out to a pilot environment with some users. We're collecting feedback, we documenting and training, we are improving the things, and we are doing a gradual rollout. So the rollout, the users get more and more features from your AI assistant. Is an output. We have a production-ready assistant with first users that is not a low level, but we can have even within the 3 week, the 3rd week, we can have even 100 users just from start. And what is the plan for Bedrock agents? I can share some hints. So as you can see, they're very similar. However, we need to spend more time on knowledge base because it's preparing docs, our knowledge that the agents should take from. We are creating knowledge base with open search and with other things that are needed. We test retrieval. Then the week 2, create agent, first action groups. It may take some time for creating if our action group, if our assistant is doing a lot of the things. So we can have assistant with only 2 action groups. However, we can have assistant, just a CEO of the company that is doing at 1,000 ideas per second. So the integration in the 3rd day, front end, we can integrate our front end with our own React or Angular website. We can integrate the custom UI into Slack or Teams. And we prepare memo implementation, guardrails, of course, testing and pilot iteration. So we have in the output custom agent with full control. What is the budget and TCO, total cost of ownership? Building that on your on-premise system is very long and may require a lot of tests. However, Q Business is just ready within a few clicks, and it can be even cheaper for less users. And Bedrock agents can be cheaper for the long time with more users per month. So it's just a comparison. What's your budget and what is your user base? And decision matrix: choose Q Business if you want to fast time to market. If you would like even start to below 2 weeks, I would say even a few hours. You don't have an AI ML team, you don't have such capabilities to prepare all your assistant with specialized and customized functions. You have a small organization, you have standard use cases, your QA, searching, and so on. You use Microsoft 365, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Jira, Confluence, and so on. And the systems that are very well integrated with Q Business. And if you want to minimize operation burden, you will see in the first weeks, you will see the ROI of operational overcome that people in your company will work with more accuracy and productivity. So choose Bedrock agents if you have a dev team. So if you can allow for working of the dev team that is improving custom functions all the time, it's good for you. Custom workflows is a specific, if you have specific compliance or security requirements, because you can customize that. For example, usage some KMS, that means key management system, encryption. If you would like to have full control over UX and prompts, if you would like to have advanced use cases and long-term, and if any agent is your long-term investment. So what's my recommendation? We can choose the hybrid approach. We can start small with a first phase, and the second phase, if everything is working for us and we have willing for more, then we can migrate to high volume cases to Bedrock agents, and customize our workflow for specific departments. It's just not only one assistant for all, but specific agents for your departments and areas of interest. So best of both, just fast start and long-term control with lower TCO. What is the risk mitigation in our solutions? The mitigation of hallucination with enforced citation, golden dataset testing, and guardrails. If we experience poor response quality, we can optimize chunking. We can use hybrid search with rich metadata, because on the beginning we don't update and upload data with the metadata, and enriching the documents with the metadata. I was talking about that on the previous webinar. If you didn't see, I recommend. We can use it for better accuracy in searching. Lack of adoption is just, I think, it's a mental change that people need to see the benefits of that approach, and we could prepare some gamification or trainings of our crew that must be trained, and then we can even can have more adoption level. So it's just for our productivity and so that our company is working better. Data quality issues, of course, is a problem that if you have waste in, waste out. So if you put the wrong data or just very low quality level data on the, then we will get very poor answers. So it must be time for taking care of quality of our data. Of course, AWS can have some services that help you preparing data. And if you have a security concerns, you can use the AWS solutions like web application firewall, for example, limiting the knowledge base or your assistant to stick to some region. If you have some compliance, for example, GDPR, you can implement better security with Security Hub and Guard Duty for your data, and so on and so on. So what are the success metrics that we can have? Adoption metrics, increased quality metrics, business metrics, and operational metrics that can even improve our work and the ROI of our company. There are quick wins and technology. The best thing is that technology is ready. So no need to afraid of technology. Still, people are complaining, oh, AI is hallucinating and so on. I don't know if to use it. No, the technology is ready. However, it requires some more care, and we can use the benefits of the maturity. Of course, it's still increasing, and there's a open way for us, and we don't know how the way will look like within the few years. We have a cloud infrastructure for managed services and for serverless that you don't need to even manage the infrastructure under the hood, or if you have a crew of cloud engineers, they can work more productive with just a very simple adoption of cloud services. The economic pressure, rising cost, talent shortage, and need for productivity. We are living in a world that is still changing. I think that's the change isn't go into the right way. It's my opinion, but we see that within the rising costs of living, of operating in the world. But this economic pressure directs us to the solutions that are simplifying our work and our productivity. So I told about proven ROI already, that we have 2 years of researching and testing and proving the infrastructure and resolving the problems that we already had. And we of course had a regulatory clarity that AI on AWS, Agent Bedrocks, or Amazon Q Business is ready for compliance with multiple compliance regulations. And the implementation checklist. Before start, you need to identify your pilot use case, prepare documents, secure a budget, assign project owners, set up account for AWS and billing alarms, then deploy your solution, pilot deployment, golden questions, feedback loop, and in the next months you can scale. If you see that it's working for you, then you can scale and use the benefits of that. Of course, the MVP may be changing in time, and your use case may evolving. However, still, I think the great time is now for implementing that. And so we covered a few things that we talk about: automation gap, realistic implementation of Q-Business and Bedrock agents. That we see that ROI is fast and the technology is production ready since 2023 with some exclusions, but now still it's evolving and improving, and we will see where we are within a few years. So the next steps, just this week, you can after this meeting, you can right now starting building your use case, and in short term planning. If you don't have time, or if you don't have a crew or capabilities or skills for that, you can contact us. We as a AWS solution architects, free consultation you can use, and we can help you in resolving your problem. The best time to start AI was last year. It's just a train that is departing. However, the second best time is now. So we need to realize ourselves that we can still get into that train and go to the future of AI, but it's not the doors are not open all the time. Sometime will be in the future that now if you learn something, that in the future you will get benefits of that, in the opposite to people that didn't start and don't want to start. So that was the presentation. Let's see how we can build agents at all. So here I have Amazon Q Business. It's just AWS console. I'm in the Europe EU Central 1 region. So I cannot choose my card. Yeah. So we have Amazon Q Business. It's very simple to create application. You can see that I have some applications already. And how it works: you create generative AI application, you enhance that, and you customize web experience. So I'm looking for the Amazon Q Business in AWS console. Yeah, I have Amazon Q Business, and I'm just starting with the applications. Okay, so I create the application. My computer is not responding me. Yeah, we have the application name to be put. We are choosing, user access. Is it authenticated access or anonymous access? And we can use, for now, I will use anonymous access, but in authenticated one, we can set up IAM Identity Center. Is just the AWS internal SSO that can be integrated with other providers like Okta and Microsoft AD, or you can choose the specific IAM identity provider here. Okay, so anonymous access I will choose now for now, and that's it. I can click and create my agent, and that's all. And afterwards, I will set up the knowledge base. I will not click the create because I already have created. So we can see my application that already created a few days ago, and I have one user, of course. I assigned myself to Amazon Q. What's next? I created a Amazon Q Business application. Now I'm adding data sources, and you can see when I click the data sources, I have already some. However, I can add data sources to my index, and you can see a lot of integrations here. Amazon S3 buckets, web crawlers that are very nice, that you can get the knowledge from internal or external data websites. For example, you can specify your source URL. You can choose authentication if the website is under authentication or not. You can choose the web proxy solution and so on. but let's see what are more data sources: Asana, Confluence, even Gmail, even AWS Q Business Assistant can help you with writing emails and sending them. With, of course, some integration under the hood. We can find information in OneDrive, in Salesforce, in Microsoft Teams, in Smartsheets. So as you can see, for the 80, I bet that 80% use cases you can cover with AWS Q Business, Amazon Q Business with all data sources. Yep. So we are adding some. I have already added some of my custom data source. I wanted to create some weather forecast. And the next step is in our Amazon Q Business creation. Let's go back. Yep. We are preparing admin controls and guardrails and monitor usage. And afterwards, we have our deployed experience. So this may be we already had out of the box deployed URL that we can open and hide under our custom domain prepared with Route 53, what is the DNS service in AWS. So everything you are clicking here is ready to use. And this is my application, Amazon Q Business, that, as you can see, is just a chat conversation. And you can ask the questions for your agent. For example, hey, how are you today? It's a very simple one. Oh, yeah, authorization just expired. But you can see login file, okay. But you can see that from the creation click, I'm very quickly prepared my first Amazon Q business application, and that's it. So how it differs from Amazon Bedrock agents? So I'm going to Amazon Bedrock. I'm looking in the searcher in AWS console, Amazon Bedrock. Okay, I'm clicking and I'm here in Amazon Bedrock console menu. So there are a lot of the things that Amazon Bedrock offers you. For example, custom models, important models, model catalog. In model catalog, we can see a lot of models that can be used just right now. Amazon Nova, GPT, or OSS, Claude with all the versions that are available, Llama, other Pixtral, and so on, Quen. So you can just pick and use the model that you are interested in. So we have a chat playgrounds and so on. It's not an introduction to Amazon Bedrock. However, I wanted to show you what our full service is Amazon Bedrock. And to build our agent, we are going to the agent menu on the left. So how we prepare the agent, just create and deploy. It's of course also very simple, but it requires some more steps. I created already a few days ago one of my assistant, but how you can follow that way, just to create agent with some description. Of course, the great thing is that you can set up multi-agent collaboration. If you have 2, 3, 4 agents, they can conversate between them, each other, and they, for example, refer each other for getting more and more knowledge from some departments on some areas of interest. So I'm creating my agent. In Agent Builder, I specify description. So, for example, AI agent for ticket resolving and creating, just some agents resource role is of course anything AWS is under the identity access control. So you need to once you are creating your AWS account, you have to getting your AWS account. You can do nothing, and services can do nothing. So you prepare roles, just role-based access control, so that you assign some roles and policies for security that other services can, in behalf of you, can create and do some actions. And we are selecting the model. Let's select the Anthropic Claude. I wanted to get the Claude Sonnet 4 and 5 version. I think I need to, yeah, because they are agents optimized. Let's choose Claude Sonnet 4.5, okay? Instruction for the agent, just an instruction that it's a context that the agent is working in. Once every time we are preparing a prompt to our agents, to our chats like OpenAI and so on, we are the best practices of prompting is to present the context to AI assistant. So you are retail company assistant that helps users what's to think just reporting problems with products, and that's it. We are preparing action groups with defining function details, or we defined API schemas. I was talking about that in the presentation. So we can integrate Lambda functions that do some things. We can adding some parameters, or we are preparing that within the just UI interface, or editing with the JSON that we can download the configuration and use in other agent. That's very great because you cannot store and download the configuration from Amazon Q Business. So let's imagine that we created already action group and so on. And for now, that's it. Of course, it's some kind of preparation for the knowledge base. Let's see what I prepared already. So I have my agents on place. Here I have a AI assistant webinar. For example, I prepared let's edit in Agent Builder so you can see what's under the hood. It's an HR assistant. I'm choosing the Claude Sonnet 4.5 action group. The HR assistant is checking vacations for our employees. Yep. So it has the memory disabled for now. There is no knowledge base. However, I deployed already some vector database for some very small purposes. Yeah. We can have orchestration strategy, multi-agent collaboration is disabled for now, and we can test our agent here on the right. So enter your message here. Hey, how many days of vacation does have employee first? Yep. And within some knowledge base, vector database is answering me that employee 1 has 28 days of vacation available. It's just a database that I prepared previously and deployed. However, here you can have a lot of customizations and you can implement what you would like to have for getting knowledge from RAG, and making some actions within the action groups. So this is the very simple implementation. After save and exit, your agent is ready to implement with some UI or just as a simple test agent. So okay, I'm going out from that. Stop sharing my screen. So for summarizing, let's start with preparing your first AI assistant because it's increasing your productivity, and as you see, it's not a complex step. There are no complex steps to achieve that. You can prepare your own assistant in a shorter time than 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we are building a production-ready solution, and you don't be afraid about your data, about your custom functions, because you can choose one of those, Amazon Bedrock or Amazon Q Business, and what fits to you. It's very simple to set up, what I showed already in the presentation. I hope that was helpful for you, and it was an inspiration for you to act with AI Bedrock agents or Amazon Q Business, and I hope that it will increase your knowledge and start your journey with AI assistants, or if you are on the way, it will prove that you are doing right. Thank you so much for participation, and see you next time. Of course, if you would like to ask us for help, we are here to help you. Millennium is a company that is supporting companies in technical and AI transformation. You can reach us to us, and we will sit down and discuss your case. Thank you once again. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Millennium. IT for people. People for IT.